if you work in a company or you study in school, you may always think about, why are we still working? Why are we still studying? I want to go to medieval ages and become a farmer. It would be so much fun growing those crops and not thinking about money, thinking about my scores and stuff. But is that really so? You may also listen to something in social media like, do you know why people back then are more healthier than you and live a better life than you? This is because they exercise more, they eat better stuff and healthier than you, blah 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 blah. This makes me sometimes feel, oh my god, people in the medieval ages are so much better than me. They have better health, they have better life, they have better futures, you know. But that's not really true for peasants. In medieval ages, the peasants are the lowest class for all the times. They are the lowest class that grow crops, sell foods, sell crops, and do all the dirty stuff on their own. While nobles are the ones that's enjoying life. So they are not considering case of the peasants. Oh, you may thought, oh, nobles, why are we not talking about nobles? Why are we talking about peasants? Because they are 98% of the population. So if you go back to medieval ages, there will be a 98% chance you're just gonna break your back in the field for the whole time. For the people back then, they want to have more food, so they need to grow more crops. So many of you may think they will all just grow grains and then sell them on the market and then get some bread. But that's not really the case, because bread is the most basic things that people eat in medieval ages, but they want to improve their lives. So they will usually grow some beans, vegetables, and other fruits to fill their nutrients. So beans are really widespread in France and other places in medieval ages because it's easy to grow and it's some extra nutrients they can get. Imagine this is a farm. You go in there, break your backs and work here 10 hours a day, and you're just gonna eat bread and beans. If I'm you, or just as myself, I cannot carry that 10 hours workload and having only bread for food every day. So people in medieval ages also buy meat for their nutrients. So mostly they eat pork, but sometimes they just feel like, nah, only eating pork is too oily. So we should put those pork on the bread, so the bread will be more delicious and the pork will not be that oily anymore. And that's a genius solution. Then the people are making pork and breads and putting them together, having a good life. But the bread are also different in different classes. For the lowest class, serfs, which is also slaves, will eat the bread with really brown wheat and peanuts. But for the people who's in middle class or civilians, they're eating brown wheat bread only with no peanuts. But for the upper class and nobles, they're eating white bread every day. The religion and the Pope said white bread are better for health because in medieval ages, people don't know anything about health. They only know God, give me better health. Totally, give me better health. Then people are just buying brown breads for the whole time. But if you go back to medieval ages, you will also eat brown breads. But sometimes the poor people will buy some white breads for celebrations. That is the reason why white bread in medieval ages are sometimes called cake. People also drink a lot of stuff back then, because if you want to work 10 hours a day in the field, you need something to hydrate yourself. So they mostly drink waters, which is really basic, but water may seem too normal. or too dirty sometimes. Because especially in the cities, people don't poop in a toilet. They do not have toilets. They only poop in the freaking river. And the river will just flow all the poops to the farm. This has two effects. It can give more nutrients to the soil, which is a good thing. But when you're drinking from the water, just avoid the poop that's flowing down the river. But you cannot avoid that because it's already like spread out. So people don't usually drink water that much if they can. They mostly drink beer and wine. This may seem super odd to you because I just said people in medieval ages don't have money to buy anything. So how are they drinking wine or beer? This is because back then they are stepping grapes on the talent that's like squeezing out the wine. The nobles will get the first wine that's getting squeezed out, but you cannot waste those grapes. So they will just give the grapes that's the grape left to those poor farmers, and then they will get the second one, third one, fourth one, and then they will get wine. Or if you live in Germany or Northern Europe, you can just use your grain and use your wheat to get beer. You will be like, oh, they're having really dangerous farm equipment every day. If they drink too much, are they gonna be drunk? No, because alcohol back then don't have that many alcohol. It's only like 0.2% alcohol. It's basically just a drink. So people don't usually get drunk. And then the Pope again said, no, the water is not healthy for you. The beer are, the wine are. So drink beer and wine. There's also an idea of Pope. They said because poor people all eat vegetables, fruits, and beans, that's why they are really unhealthy for you. You should eat more meat, not vegetable. This will remind you really odd stuff. Because in the modern day, people promote brown bread over white bread, which is what noble eats in medieval ages, and they promote vegetable more than meat, which is what medieval nobles eat. So why did it just turn around in few centuries? I'm telling that capitalism. They tells you to eat the healthier stuff so they can earn more money. Totally not, because medieval ages they don't have any health systems. They only believe God. Or you can be a soldier if you don't want to break your back in farm for your whole life. But the requirements of being a soldier are really high, and most people cannot get in. Even if you get in, there's two possibilities. One, you get promoted and have a really good life. Second, you die. So most people just want to stay at their farm, break their backs, whatever, just don't let me die, and live for their whole life in the farm.